Hello, everybody. How are y'all out there today? Got y'all on a live this evening. Hope y'all are all feeling good. Hope everybody's doing good. Just want to start out with a positive affirmation and say that the journey begins when you take your first step. So if there's something you want to do out there, you got to take your first step. That's the first thing to do, guys. Something you want to do, something you are after. The journey begins when you take your first step. I hope y'all had a good week, a good safe week. We find ourselves at Thursday night already. Okay, I see Michelle. Hi, Michelle. How are you today? Hope you are doing fine. I'm doing pretty good. I had a visit from Mom and Donna today. They came by and spent a little time with me. They left a little on the late side, so it may take them a little while before they come in on the live. But they did come out and see me today, and I really enjoyed their visit. She always helps me. She's kind of like my tech person. She helped me figure some things out on StreamYard that I didn't have quite figured out. But she digs into that kind of thing, and usually she will find an answer. Let me know if that music is too loud, Michelle. I can't really tell if it's too loud or not. Okay, Michelle says, I'm very well, thank you. I'm sure y'all had a good visit. And for the music, I think what she's saying is it's perfect. So that's good to know. I like that music. I think it's really cool. I had made a trailer to go with this, and it has that kind of music in it, but I wasn't able to get the trailer to work. Maybe next time. Like I said, Donna helped me figure it out. The upload speed on it, I had the upload speed on it too high. No, that's not right. The pixels on it was too high. I had it set for 1080 and it should have been a 720. But anyway, I'm working on that, getting that figured out. I was hoping Mama would have got to see the baby today, but it was just a short visit. So maybe next time. I have some notes here for the stuff I had wanted to talk about. So let's see if I can dig up my notes. Okay, the subject for today is bloom where you are planted. It's a saying that many of you probably have heard. I know I've heard it before many times. I even have a pillow that has that saying embroidered on it. Bloom where you're planted. So it kind of implies that wherever you're at, be happy with wherever you're at. It's kind of what I take from it. Stay where you're at and do the best you can with that. Okay, this reminds me of a Bible verse in Phillipians chapter 4:11, where one of Paul's letters says, I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. So I don't think it's something that just like occurs to you. It's something that he's saying that he learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. He says, I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. So he knows both ways, whether he's in need or having plenty. I have learned, he says, the secret of being content in every situation. You know what? I was supposed to invite someone in here. I gotta okay, let me remember now. Miss Connie Jones told me how to invite y'all in. I need to get on that, don't I? Connie. Here we go. Y'all just hang in there. It's coming. Michelle's laughing at me. Okay. There it is. You see, Michelle, you got to give me a little nudge because I forget sometimes in my old age, it's getting worse. I was like, well, why isn't she in here? Well, maybe because I didn't invite her, huh? But there's the invite there. All right, I'm going to get back to my notes while you're working on that. I see it coming in. It says Shell. And I see her face. Yes, I do. So I'm just waiting on my cue on this side to be able to invite you in. Okay, here it is. Add to stage. Ah! All right. I see you got you a cool background going there, girl.
This is my closet doors. This is Alyssa painted this years ago, and I can't bring myself to paint over it.
I like it. It looks good.
And then I got this little gnome with me. He's helping me in the forest today.
So that's your guest?
Yeah, he's my guest.
Here, I got a chair, a little skinny chair right here in case Errol comes in as my guest. But so that would be cool. I don't know if I can fit him in on this screen or not, but if he comes in, I'll maybe just give him my spot for a second because he doesn't come in often. Okay.
Yeah, I had Alyssa on the phone. I was trying to get where I had my camera where I didn't have to hold it and I could talk and visit.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a good idea. I like that. That's what I like to do too. When I would do my lives with my phone and I would do them outside, I had a little bracket like that would hold my phone and I could attach it to an easel and it worked perfect outside and I didn't have to stand there, holding the phone the whole time.
Right.
So that was good. And I used it in the kitchen before too. And I would just move the easel around and it worked fine. And I don't know. It works good as long as I don't use the Wi-Fi. Because when I would move the easel and I was using the Wi-Fi, I would lose my connection. But that's why, that's why I'm doing them more on this hardwired computer, because I don't lose my connection and I can see my people's comments, because that was the worst part of it. It wasn't that I was just losing a big piece of space of time in my connection. The thing was I was losing just a little bit of space, enough to where I would lose all of my comments. And so when people was watching me and they was commenting, I didn't know what they were saying. I couldn't see any of their comments, so I had to quit doing that. People want to know
how to comment on your stuff, Lord.
Yeah, I get some comments. It's nice. I like it. I do like it when I get comments for sure.
So I studied up on this little this part of the Bible that you're talking about tonight with my daughter. And we had some interesting conversations about it. For it to be such a small part of scriptures that, we were able to talk a while about it.
It's true.
I think, that certain part gets lost because the next part after is, to the effect of I can do all things through Christ our Lord. But if you don't read the part before it, you can misconstrue that.
Right.
We were talking about how you were saying, bloom where you're planted, be happy whether you're in a time of much or a time of little. And Yes, very much. That is a learned thing. I don't know if anybody out there can relate, because I'm the type of person, I want to jump in and fix something immediately. Okay. And you
Right.
can't always do that. It's not always in your hands, And that is
Exactly.
something I still struggle with. Today I was having fits because I was trying to figure out where I was going to film and what I was going to do with all my little dogs and everything. And I said, well, we just go do what we do.
Yeah, that's the best way, I think, too. I really do. I've had a lot of people come in and give me different advice of how to do things or what subjects to talk on and everything. And you kind of have to talk about something that you know a little bit about. And you also have to talk about something that you are passionate about. I mean, if you come on here talking about something that you don't know about or you're not passionate about, that's not a good thing at all. It's not going to come off very well. So I just have to stick with what I know or am passionate about. And, I may not have a huge audience for it, but I mean, this is what I'm doing. So,
Well, what people need to understand is, um, whether you're religious or not, homesteading, we are in a part of the year that we are harvesting, we are putting things away, we are getting ready for a season of toughness. Okay.
yeah,
It's gonna be cold. You're not gonna have the plants and all the good stuff you've had in spring and summer and even autumn. You're not gonna have that abundance. You're not gonna have all that sunlight and warmth. So you're coming into a time where, yeah, you need to keep being thankful in your mind and flexible, working with what falls in your plate.
right. Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
And in doing so, religion, whether it be whatever religion you follow, following your religion during your lifestyle is a good compass to keep yourself on your right course, because I may not be a super heavy Christian or anything, but I do believe in the things the Bible teaches us and everything. And even if you're not a super Christian, you can read the stories of the Bible and you can take something out of that you can relate to.
And you can use in a positive manner.
Yes, it almost is like it kind of gives you an example of maybe how to deal with a situation.
Yeah, it does.
And gives you some examples of things not to be misled by on your path.
Right.
You're easily pulled astray by, and without continually going to our religion to continually cleanse our souls and be with a clear mind of what our idea of what we're setting out to do, I feel is necessary. You have to keep resetting that button,
Yeah, and I was reading that too, something about the renewal of the mind. You like renewing your mind with this information all the time. Right. Just like you feed yourself food every day, you also have to feed yourself your spirit, or you'll starve it to death, just like you would starve to death if you didn't eat food.
Right.
So I'm just going to read a little bit more of what I have written down here while we're waiting on someone else to come in with us.
Okay.
Okay, let's see where I was. He says, I have learned the secret of being content in every and any situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or living in want. I can do everything through him who gives me strength. Now, this next part is my commentary on it myself. Some circumstances are easier to be content in than others. It's pretty easy to be content when things are going our way. It's when life presents its challenges that it can be difficult to be content. When things are going poorly for us is when we can draw off of the strength of Yeshua. When we're down and out, that's when many of us find ourselves in prayer. It's a personal journey. To what are you drawn to when you are down and out? You know, for different people at different times in their life, that answer could be different. It's not always prayer for everybody. Some people are drawn maybe to alcohol or drugs, or there could be many vices. I mean, that's just two of probably the most popular ones. So we're not all drawn to prayer at that time, but usually a lot of us are. Even if alcohol or drugs are a part of our lives, still we can be drawn to prayer. I've seen that over and over again.
I think it has to do with mindset. You know, for so many years of my life, I would get on hard times and I would find myself having the same conversation with God, and I would be so upset, so offended. You know, and I would say, God, why? You know, why do you keep doing this to me? Why can't I catch a break? Why, God? And I would blame all my troubles on him, knowing doggone good and well, 9 out of 10, I put myself in this boat. Okay, I built it myself, probably. Within the moments, it was so easy for me to blame God. And why are you not making it easy for me?
Yeah.
And I've had to learn that that is me, acting like a little spoiled kid with some potty pants on or something, you know? It's a learning thing.
It is a learning thing, but it's part of the enemy's tricks on us. You know, like I was talking about Adam and Eve in the garden and how she was persuaded by the enemy, if you want to call him that. She was persuaded, and you know, he told her and asked her many questions like, what did God really tell you that? Or he just doesn't want you to be like him. And you know, the devil really does come in and work on us all the time with a mixture of truth and error, and sometimes it's hard to tell, but we do know the difference. We do know the difference. That's where that tree of knowledge of good and evil comes in. We do know the difference between what is good and what is evil. Sometimes we fight it off ourselves and try to justify what we're doing and say, well,
how many times I have, you know, known better in my gut than in my head, and somehow talked myself into it was going to be okay, knowing darn good and well. Y'all, it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay.
And we've all been there, you know. We really have. We've all been there. That's,
and
you know,
every time I'm sitting after everything is done and I'm like, I knew better. I knew better and I did this. And then I kicked myself in the pants a bunch.
Yep. And we do that. We beat ourselves up too. Absolutely. So the question would be then, how can we find true commitment, true contentment? So the wrong word, contentment. How can we find that? And the answer lies in our perspective, like you said, in the way that we look at things. You know, how do we look at things? What perspective are we looking at it? I can remember talking with Daddy so many times and him using examples saying, you know, like, if you're down in this crevice and someone's up at the top, they can see everything that's going on up above, and they can kind of give you a different perspective.
Yes. Yeah, some of the stuff from that scripture my daughter brought to my attention that I had never really thought of. Like I said, with the all things are possible through, you know, my Lord, but missing the leading up to that. You know, you see all these football players and sports people, they put that on their stuff, but you don't hear nothing about the 411. You hear the 413,
Yeah, I know you do. You hear that all the time. And that's something I want to bring out in these discussions is just stuff that you don't see in the mainstream of Bible quotes, if you want to say it like that. Because if you're just reading something out of context, you're reading it out of context. You're not getting the whole point that's trying to come through.
Right. It's very easy to twist what you read, and it's easy to twist them scriptures to suit you. And you have to be careful not to do that, because it's easy for you to twist them scriptures and try and make it suit your whatever agenda at the moment.
Exactly. That's right. I just had a note on that because, like you were saying, this Christ that strengthened, I can do everything through Christ that strengthens me. There's a little footnote in this study Bible, and I was just going to read that to you right quick. It says, can we really do everything? The power we receive in union with Christ is sufficient to do his will and to face the challenges that arise from our commitment to doing it. He does not grant us superhuman ability to accomplish anything we can imagine without regard to his interest. As we contend for the faith, we will face troubles, pressures, trials, and as they come, ask Yeshua to strengthen you. So that's the whole thing. A lot of times people think they're just going to pray and get whatever they're asking for, and that's not the case at all. It has to line up with his will and his timing, and you may not get it. And a lot of times the best way to look at it is it must have not been good for me, because our earthly father knows how to give a good gift to us. So surely our heavenly father knows how to give a good gift to us. And if we didn't get it, then it must have not been good for us, what we was asking for. He surely knows better what's going on in the future than I do. So I'm going to just let him decide on if he's going to give me that or not.
Right. I kind of took from it like, our Lord strengthens us in our times of most feeling like we're helpless. When you're in your most, not maybe need, but maybe even just a moral dilemma that's deep for you.
Right.
I took it as, like they said, you're not getting no superhuman strength from this. Maybe you're getting some superhuman strength to, go through some misere here in a minute, maybe you don't have the superhuman strength to keep a straight face and carry yourself with the pride or elegance through something that's a tough time.
Right. Yeah, Paul had also wrote at one time, he had said that when I am weak, that is when I am strong. And it was because then, he had Yeshua with him. So sometimes when things are going our way, we're pretty good handling things on our own, we feel like. But other times we need some help. So the next thing would be your priorities. The answer that lies is also in our priorities. Some things are more important than others. So our happiness, our contentment relies on our priorities as well. So we have to kind of get our priorities straight and also have that line up with his will as well.
Yeah, so all priorities. I went to the store the other day, and we have a lot of people. Our community is growing, and we have, we did not before, but now we have a little homeless population here.
Really?
And yes, and it's very odd because we did not have that, but we're growing. So, with growth comes all kinds of new types of people and walks of life. The thing is, this one particular man that I see often, he's out there and he's got a sign that says family of 4 in need of help. And I always felt bad for him when I saw him before in passing. But I passed the other day and he was taking a cigarette out of a cigarette box and lighting it. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I know how much those cost. And in my head, I was thinking, I wonder how many people pass this man and see him lighting a cigarette and mentally do the same thing I did.
Right.
With going from feeling sorry for you to now, okay, but you had $10 for a pack of cigarettes. But you need money for food for your kids? Your priorities. Like, come on.
Right.
And I'm not trying to get down on homeless people. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I know. It's a hard thing. It really is. It's a hard thing. I've seen people like that too, Michelle. You know, I would be like, you can tell some of them are working the street, okay? And some of them are really in need. It's one of those cases where the good has to suffer for the bad, because some of them, like I said, some of them are just working the streets, and some of them really do need. And some of them that are homeless, man, those people are stressed out. They probably need a cigarette worse than
I was just thinking that. I was like, shame on me. What he spends his money on is his business. But in my mind, as an ex-smoker, as you know, and going through hard times as well, and being a single parent and going through hard times, okay?
Oh yeah, I couldn't imagine. I mean, if I would be
the club, I've done all the hard things, okay? So when I see somebody like that, yes, it's like you putting a bad name on the people when they really are struggling, and I'm sorry, but in my hard times, I'm not going to buy. Well, I've done bad things, and it just stops. Shame, Michelle.
Well, hey, I quit smoking too, and it was, man, I've tried to quit smoking so many times and went back, but this last time I think I got it, because I've been quit for over a year now, maybe 2 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm so relieved. But I do keep a pack in a jar just in case. But you know what? A lot of people say that has helped them to quit, and that just knowing that it was there, it helped them to quit. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Like I said, hey, it's been in there for a year, maybe 2 years, and I haven't fooled with it.
I just know, I remember there was a store up here in North Georgia when I was a teenager. I could go and get a pack of Marlboro Lights for, I'd give the old man $2 and give me a quarter back. Thank you. And here we are. I'm not that old. And everything is so, you know, I go through the grocery store and I don't even want to touch the stuff on the aisle when I see the price. It's so out of control right now. In the last couple of years, I've watched the prices on everything go up so crazy. I can't make hide nor hair of it. And the cheap person inside me will not allow me to pay the price. So I just do it out, because for some reason, the little goblin in my head is like, oh, absolutely not. It's like a old lady inside my head. And she's like, you put that back down. You don't need that today.
Things have went up. I was thinking about that the other day. You know, I used to buy, say, I don't know, I guess 6 or 7 years ago, maybe even as short as 4 years ago. Hint, hint. I was buying Nature's Own bread and Lay's potato chips. But in these last 4 years, I have been buying Great Value bread only and Great Value chips only.
And, you know, it's not even like, okay, I wanted to make bread the other day. I thought, oh, a cheap project. I'll make some bread. Went to the store to buy flour. And I'm sitting in the aisle and I'm looking and I'm having a conversation out loud with myself, because I'm that woman at the grocery store. And I'm like, since when? Since when is a bag of flour $4? And that's for the store brand. That ain't no White Lily, baby. You better get out the way.
I know it.
Look, I told Grandma the other night, I said, if I was on the Price is Right, I wouldn't even want to be called to come on down because I'd have to bet $1, Bob. I don't know. It's too much. There's too damn much. That's my bid.
Yeah, I know, right? You just like multiply by 3 whatever you think the price is.
Dang, it's insane. Like I said, a bag of flour, excuse me, was $1. For years and years and years, it held at $1. Sugar was like that too. Slowly, it's gone up, gone up, gone up. I remember when my kids were in diapers, you could go to a specific grocery store chain up here, and they would do it in Louisiana too. If you would spend like $100 on groceries, you get a free turkey. And
A free what?
If you were feeding a whole big family, you could pay for all your sides and your paper plates and your napkins and all that stuff and get a free turkey. And that was the kind of stuff that brought people in to do their shopping. And now, you don't spend $100. I want to see what you got in your buggy when you come out. I want to see.
Yeah, I know it. And the sad part is, I don't think the grocery stores are really making that much of a profit on this stuff because they're buying it from somewhere too that the price is higher than what they were buying it before. And the question is, why have these prices gone up? We know that these things aren't in less of a supply, like you say, the flour. And but I really think it's from regulations on stuff. They regulate stuff to death, and I think it goes back to that. We have to do more studies on that one, but I'm pretty sure that's where the answer lies.
Oh yeah, they regulate us to death. You go be an American farmer today, and you go try and make you a living. I dare you. But you go and grow some stuff in another country and sell it to America. You're gonna do good. You're gonna be living good. You can be eating good, living good. You can be doing good. But the Americans, you try and go and farm.
Oh yeah, they're gonna regulate you to death, and anything they find you doing against their rules, they're gonna fine you. So that comes out of your profits too, and so then that goes back to the customer. All that goes back to the customer. Yep. But I mean, what you gonna do? Force them to grow this stuff and not make a profit? You can't. They ain't gonna do it. I mean, I sure wouldn't want to be forced.
Homesteading is important. Homesteading is important because look at what the Times is doing, and these things. It's not. You don't have to go and homestead and live off of everything off your land. But if you do, like I had a garden in my yard the size of maybe a master bedroom, and I worked it through the seasons because it was just for 2 people now, mind you, and I wasn't canning really. I'd freeze if I had a lot of squash or whatever. But I got plenty off of my little square of land to help not be buying vegetables I always had something fresh in my house to throw in with my food. If I had a couple chickens, I would have been a lot happier.
Yeah, right.
We're in some mountains. We don't have some good yard space for that.
They would have ate your garden.
Oh, I would have been fussing, honey. I was already fighting the squirrels. I come outside and a squirrel had a tomato out of my garden. And he was running on his hind legs, holding that tomato girl running through my yard like something off the Robin Hood Disney cartoon movie.
I know, it's a constant struggle. If it ain't the squirrels, it's the worms, stink bugs, or something. It is. It's hard. It's hard to raise something. But you can raise some stuff, and you can supplement your diet with it. So do what you can. Do what you can. Save seeds. Learn how to save seeds. And you never know when them grocery stores is going to not have nothing in them.
Right. But that's just like, look, what I'm doing right here, crocheting, that used to be something all the old ladies did this time of year through the winter.
Yeah.
off of the wool they got off of their land, their, livestock.
Uh-huh.
Now you go buy some old funky acrylic yarn. It cost me, I don't even want to say out loud what it cost me to make a blanket. And that's just the yarn. That's not me sitting and doing the hours and hours of work. So it's
Yes.
like the government has made it where it's an inferior thing to even do.
Yeah, and just think, what would you have to sell that for to where you could be proud of the profit that you had made on it? What would you have to?
I can't, because I feel like I'm getting railroaded, because nobody wants to pay what it's worth. Nobody wants to even pay how much the yarn costs to make it, much less the labor or the skill. So, because especially when you can go on something like Temu and get a blanket like I'm making for $10 hairs. Come on, man.
Right. But I mean, just say like that blanket cost you $100 to make. I don't know what I'm just using a easy round number.
Roughly, yes. Yeah.
And then, you spent, just say, another $100 in labor. Right. And then the government comes back to you and says, look, you can only sell this for $80 or otherwise you're price gouging. What would you try to sell one? I mean, golly, of course you would not.
Look, I put my toes in the water on some of my local sites just to see. I had a real pretty one I had finished that was pretty for like Christmas time, and I posted it for only $150. And ain't nobody nibbled on that. So no, I just give them as gifts. It's something I do that helps keep my hands busy, as a type of a STEM, I guess. And I've got them coming out my ears, so I just give them at this point.
Yeah, you're just using it as a therapy, basically, for yourself.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You want to come in?
For a few minutes.
Okay, Mr. E's coming in, y'all.
Hey, Mr. E. Uncle E. Come here.
Who's that?
That's Michelle. I brought you that little chair. I think it'll fit in here.
Okay. Oh, wow. You got it where you can actually.
All right, y'all. I'm doing a setup for him here where y'all can see him a little bit.
What do you call that? Where you can see everybody?
I don't know, but this is it. Right?
Like we chatting, we can add other people.
Yeah.
You don't remember what you call that?
Like a Zoom conference or something?
Like a Zoom conference or something?
Yeah. Who's talking?
That's Michelle.
Okay. I'm wore out. I've been working all day.
Right there.
I just come out the garden and I'm about to go back in the garden.
Oh, it's okay. Let me get you phone closer so you can see me. It's me. Hello.
I think that's crazy. Where are you?
It's so neat.
It is. It's awesome. I love it.
See,
it is.
We added brick to our house. You see that?
Oh, you laid them real even and straight. I got to admire that masonry work right there.
I don't know. It goes a little bit down a little bit. I don't know what state she's in.
Yeah, my daughter built this bridge. See that right there?
I don't know what state she's in, but y'all can tell she's from Louisiana. She's talking. I like that. I like that right there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Michelle's got a background too that Lily painted. I still call her Lily.
I do too.
Michelle, you got a channel too?
Oh no.
Oh.
No, the other day was the first time I did this, and I was so nervous. I was looking all around like I'm Stevie Wonder, y'all. I was looking in the sky. I was looking all around.
You did good. You did good. A lot of times
wearing my tism on my sleeve, y'all.
Errol's doing his best Stevie Wonder impression.
I rewatched that video and I was like, oh, what I'm doing. Then I had my mouth open for an unbelievably long period of time, squinting.
Where you had to breathe.
And I was trying hard to concentrate. I was focusing, y'all. I was focusing.
You got nobody talking to you, Brenda?
No, but I have some other people watching. I can see that, but they haven't commented. I haven't seen any other comments
What y'all
come
been
in.
talking about?
We was talking about Philippians 4:11 with being content with where you are in all circumstances. And me and Earl have talked about this so many times, and we always come to the conclusion that the more we live to please ourselves, the more miserable we are.
I used to tell my students that when I was teaching at trade school, an electrical course, I would tell them that the more you live to please yourself, the more miserable you'll be.
That's true too.
Because we're supposed to be loving people, loving people and helping people.
Yeah, we're supposed to be helping people. I don't know how many times I read it says serve others.
People don't do that. So
yeah,
how Paul
not.
In Philippians,
I find myself, I've started going out and I give compliments, y'all.
That's good.
That's a good thing to do. It
don't matter if I'm just in the store. I'm like, I like your shirt or your hair or whatever. And I smile real big and I give it real friendly because I like when I get little compliments out and about and I feel good doing it. I feel like I'm, it may be the little nice thing that cheers somebody up during the day.
Well, life is a learning experience. And it's true, though. You don't know what other people are going through. Nobody ever knows what the other person, what's going on deep inside of another person. And they might just need a hug or to tell them thank you or to go visit them or go visit somebody in a nursing home. Or, but yeah, like she was talking about being content. Paul said, I have learned to be content. We're not going to be content if we just want everything. Like I seen some guys, somebody we know had on the back of their window on their truck, never satisfied. Well, that's the opposite of what Scripture says. Scripture says you have to learn to be content. Even though you don't have the things your physical body or your flesh might want, you make yourself learn to be content. So that's what life's all about. You either learning to try to do better or you progressively getting worse. If you're not trying to get better, then you get worse. So, anyway.
So I have a couple other notes here. It says, when I chose to look at the situation only from my perspective that would benefit me, that tended to make me more miserable. Or when I set selfish, wrong priorities, like we was talking about earlier, setting priorities. When I set more selfish priorities for where I would come out ahead, that usually never worked out either.
Well, what you first said.
And also when I thought that I had the ultimate control over a situation, that always, showed to be not true at all.
Well, that's kind of like that, what's that prayer? The serenity prayer.
Yeah.
God grant me the wisdom to change the things I can. How's it go? And the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference of the things you can't change.
Yeah, there's some things you can change.
Yes.
Right. And the other thing,
the things I can't change.
What did
That's
you just
right.
say? That's right. On your first note,
when I put selfish, wrong priorities, or chose to look at a situation only from my perspective.
From my perspective, that's a big, huge thing that we need to learn in life, is to be able to have empathy for the other person.
Yeah.
Look at it from their viewpoint and not just from our viewpoint. And it'll change everything.
It takes patience to do that.
That's a lifelong thing, because our physical human nature, we naturally selfish, and we have to teach ourselves not to be that way. That's how humans are. That's our flesh.
It's easy to just want more, and
really
it
easy.
is. It's not a good way to be.
No, it ain't. No. But we just have to keep working on it. You don't give in to it. You just keep working on it, and then don't beat yourself up because you fell down. Just pick yourself
I feel
back
like
up.
the more we get wanting more, the more we gain material things, but we lose our humility, our ability to be humble.
That's right. And guess what? When we die, we ain't taking none of this junk with us.
Right. I think something about the more material things, not everyone, but a lot of cases, the more material things you get, you get an arrogance that comes along with that. That is dangerous.
That can happen.
Yeah, that could definitely be the case for sure. So also, like we said, the control thing, we don't have control over so many things in our life.
Life becomes a lot easier when you give up control to your creator. A lot easier. That's how it's supposed to be, and that's a human nature thing too. We want to control it. If we can get our brain straight and let him control it, and be patient and not expect it to go the way we want all the time, that changes everything too.
How much time we waste in our minds trying to figure out how to manipulate it to work our way,
Every portion of our life, I believe, is
very well said.
You got to
we spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to coerce it in our way.
You got it figured out. Yeah. As soon as we can learn to let go of that, things become a lot easier. Yeah, but that's a daily thing. You got to do that daily.
And I just was telling Aunt KK how Grandpa used to say, I hold on to stuff so hard I could turn gold to a diamond in my hand, honey. Oh, choke a dead horse on the ground, he said. Trying to make it do why won't you do how
make
I
it do how you want it to
do? Right. Yeah.
We got Butt Nuggets in with us, y'all.
Who?
Butt Nugget. Homestead.
Who the hell's that? Butt Nugget.
Oh Lord, yeah.
No,
been on the Bible study. How you doing, Butt Nuggets?
He's got a different name, but he's awesome. So we welcome him into the chat, guys.
Myself worrying too much and then say, don't worry.
He says, so broke, can't pay attention. LOL. God bless.
We all
broken. That's for real, bro.
And he also says he just got back from picking up some feed. More expensive than last week. Thank you.
Yeah. And boy, it's just my opinion. If this election don't go right, it's going to get a lot more expensive.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I ain't going to get into politics, though. Oh, I want to. But
you act right.
Okay, so back to the empathy and looking at
back.
Just a minute.
All right. Well, I got them sprinklers going in that garden. I don't want it to flood it and knock my seeds out. If it puddles up where I put them seeds, I planted some mustards, turnips, and collards today, and I can't let it. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh yeah, it'll wash it down into your.
It'll wash it away.
And we need that in case we lose the election. Maybe you ought to go check it.
Yeah, I might be showing up at y'all's property with a little stick and a bandana tied to it.
With nothing in it.
Yeah. I'm gonna show up with just my pretty hair, bro. That's it.
It is pretty.
Yeah, we might have to cut it and sell it.
Yeah. To buy me a comb, bro, about the way times is going.
Ain't going good. But
like we was talking about the perspective and everything, looking at things from other people's perspective. I had Puddentang in here last week, and she was saying,
where are these people getting on
that? She was saying, but she came up with a really good point that the Lord's Prayer is a form, basically, of how to pray.
Right.
And it does say about the other people, to I'm drawing a blank.
Forgive people
as you would forgive them.
Yeah.
And it also goes back to treating people the way that you would want to be treated. So a lot of times it's so simple. You can just ask yourself, is this the way I would want to be treated? I mean, a lot of times that answers the question of how to treat other people.
They asked him to, Yeshua, the one they called Jesus, they asked him to teach him how to pray. They said, "Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Your name, your reputation, and who you are and what you've done is set apart and different and unique and distinct. That's what hallowed means. It means holy, but that means set apart. It means he's totally unique. There's no one or nothing that can be compared to him. And then it says, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. That means we asking you every day. We need to go to you every day to supply our needs. But he says man doesn't live by bread alone. So it's a form, like you said, an outline.
Yeah, it's an outline.
Give us our needs, supply our needs today. They are physical, they are mental, and they are spiritual. We need all that from you. And forgive us our trespasses in the same way that we forgive
others. So we really need to be thinking about how are we forgiving other people, because that's the way that we're going to be forgiven.
There's other scriptures that says
exactly.
There's other scriptures that says if you don't forgive man their trespasses, then my Father in heaven is not going to forgive you.
That's a big deal.
And then the other form is sometimes I got to repeat it. It's kind of like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So you got our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation. That means protect us, help us to fight off the physical, mental, spiritual temptations that we get,
like we was talking about how we talk ourselves into stuff. That's those mental and spiritual temptations coming into play.
So help us like that and protect us from harm, from evil, from harm from the devil, from the world, from physical harm, from sinful harm. And so it's a form. And if you go back and you look at that prayer that way, it helps you learn how to speak to him and what to ask for. And that's a real important key. Give us this day our daily bread. That's real important. I'll leave y'all with that. If you think about that, what he's telling you is ask him, do this every day. Pray to him every day and ask for your needs for that day. Physical, mental, and spiritual.
Like I said, reset my compass, Lord.
You got to reset it every day. You got to reset
reset my compass, Lord. I get a little distracted.
And he's going to be there to hang on to you. He says he draws close to you if you draw close to him. So if you hang on to him and you even if you fall that day, if you come back and say, I need you, he's going to be right there to pick you up. He's not there to beat you all down. He just wants people to look to him and acknowledge him, that he supplies your needs every day. That's what true religion is. It's not no formalities. It's just saying, I'll acknowledge you and I need you. And I need you to do this for me every day and supply my needs. And I'm going to come to you. If I fall, pick me back up. And he's like, man, that's what I'm here for. That's what I want you to do. That's all he wants you to do. And try to do the right thing. Love you. They asked, his disciples said, what's the greatest commandment? And he said, love the Lord thy God with all their heart, mind, and soul. And the second one is like this, love your neighbor as yourself. And all the law hangs on that. So if we do everything that we can to please him and go to him every day and love him and take care of our fellow man, that's true religion. That's what it's all about. So anyway, go and take care of my garden.
Hey, Judy Jules and the big Italian. They say, where are y'all at in Louisiana? We're out at Butte La Rose, just south of Lafayette. Well, we're in central Louisiana, without giving away our complete location.
We get a little nervous about that, but we know where you're at in Butte La Rose. We used to have a camp at Frenchman's Wilderness Campground. We put a camper there, and we fished in the Chafalaya River there, a little loop, whatever they call that. I didn't forgot. I'm having a brain freeze too. But anyway, We know where y'all at.
I know what you're talking about too, and I can't think of it.
You talking about False River? What you talking about?
No, it's by Henderson, kind of.
Oh, okay, down by Baton Rouge and all, down there by New Orleans.
Well, it's more like down past Bro Bridge and all that.
Okay.
The Big Italian. That's what this guy said. Where y'all at in Louisiana? We're out at Butte La Rose, just south of Lafayette.
Oh, okay.
Look, but Nugget says y'all hiding that gumbo behind them bricks. We done ate all that. That's gone.
Ain't no gumbo here. We ain't got nothing to eat over here, y'all.
Oh, me, I want me one, but the sausage up here, y'all, is bunk. It's bunk.
Hey, we make our own smoked sausage.
We've been making our own, and it is so much better than the stuff we was buying. It's tremendously different.
It's amazing.
Yeah, once you get spoiled to that homemade sausage, that store-bought junk just don't cut it no more.
Yeah, it seems so artificial.
It's like some belongings. Yeah, I don't like that.
I gotta go check them sprinklers. Y'all be good. Okay. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you too, Uncle E.
Watch his brick wall.
Yeah, don't hit your head on them bricks now.
Y'all great.
All right. Well, I'm so glad he came in to visit us for a little while. That's awesome.
Me too.
He maybe now he'll start coming in on our lives more often. I love these guys, says Butt Nuggets. All right. Small channels are the best. They are the best because you get attention on small channels. When you get to those big channels, like well, I won't name any, I don't guess. That would be nice. But some of those really big channels, when you go in and try to comment on their lives, they'll never see anything you wrote. You forget it.
Because their stuff is flying past their screen. They can't keep up.
I know. That's why the small channels are nice. You get to actually talk to somebody, you know. So Big Italian says, hi, y'all.
Hello, Big Italian.
For everybody who doesn't know, Shell, that is on the screen, is my niece, and she is coming to us from Georgia.
Yes, I'm up away from all the good food and all the good times. So,
hey, babe.
What?
Tell the Big Italian we don't want to leave them hanging, and we don't want to be rude. We don't want the wrong person to get hold of exactly where we live, maybe, but we knew it. Tell the Big
He's
Italian
coming for you, Uncle E.
Yeah. Tell him. You know, we in the Balls Parish. You know,
we're in the Balls Parish. He said we'll let that much go.
Uncle E's like the call is coming from inside the house.
We're in the Balls Parish, and we're in a defensive bunker.
A defensive bunker, he says.
Hopefully we don't get no rain, y'all.
I heard that.
In the blind.
That ain't gonna do good out here, will it? Okay. So I can say this too, some things I was thinking about, you know, being happy in your situation. One thing I find that can really hurt you is when you compare yourself to other people around you. That can be very destructive behavior.
And it's so easy to do.
It is so easy to do.
To look at even your neighbors, or, you know, even in a neighborhood, you look, somebody starts mowing their grass. Watch, give it a couple minutes. Everybody's gonna be out there mowing their grass, making themselves into a tizzy because they gotta keep up with the Joneses. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So do yourself a favor and don't compare yourself to others. And I noticed this too is a big one, is don't feel sorry for yourself. That's something I've battled with, and I've come to the conclusion that I'm a lot happier when I'm not giving into that.
Because it's easy to get down in that little rut, and then it's hard to get back out.
Exactly. When you slip into a depression, it's very hard to get out. I had that before, and when I finally came out of it, I told myself I am never doing that again. that was very hard to come out of. That was bad. The other thing,
is a powerful thing.
Yeah, it is. The other thing is serve others, like we were saying. Get your mind off of yourself and get it on to somebody else. If you can just do a small thing for someone, maybe you have a neighbor that can't get out and you're already going to the store. You might call them and ask them, do they need you to pick something up? Or like you said, just give somebody a compliment can be a big thing.
It costs nothing.
It don't cost nothing. Pray, study, read, get to know scripture. Okay, Donna's saying she's on her phone this time. Hey there, Donna. So you're not coming in with us today? You're gonna just sit it out on the phone? I think she was trying to come in a while ago, but she must not have been able to get her camera right. So very late tonight, Puddin' Tang just came in, y'all. Well, welcome, Puddin' Tang. I'm sure glad you was able to make it. Is it because my schedule's conflicting with your schedule? I'd like to try to get it to where everybody can come in. I don't want to be, scheduling these when y'all are having something else scheduled. But y'all have to let me know because I don't know. Yeah, so when you help someone, it doesn't have to be by giving them money. It can be a compliment. It could be praying for them. That could help them a lot. Just that. Open a door for someone, So
I'm not saying an act of true kindness will lead to another act of true kindness. So what you're doing is you're trying to light a candle that others can light their candles from,
Right. And sometimes, some people, like Errol was saying, that you don't know what kind of day they're having. You might get a rude response even, but you just don't know what kind of day some people are having. I actually went into a store one time, and this was probably probably 30 years ago. I went into a store and I bought something. I had a woman on side of me. She said something to me and I told her, yes, ma'am, I think. And she got fighting mad. I thought the store clerk was going to have to call the police to get her out of there or get me out of there. I didn't know she was mad, y'all. I thought she was ready to fight. Because I had told her, yes, ma'am. She took it as I was telling her she was old.
See, I used to have that reaction to people saying ma'am to me. I mean, not all angry like that. I'd be like, oh, don't call me ma'am. I'm not that old. You're making me feel old. But now I'm realizing that is just something that was instilled in us as children. It is a sign of respect.
That's what I tried to tell her.
And that's one of them reasons I need the Lord, honey, because I go to the store and somebody pulls some silly slick stuff like that with me and want to get like that. Oh, yes, I need the Lord. I need the Lord because I'm the type that might smack you down and tell you God told me to do that. But
now you know better than that, Shell.
I do know better. That's why I said I need the Lord.
Look, Puddin' Tang done gave us her real name. It's Jolie. Jolie. Okay, all right.
I like that name. That's pretty.
I do too. I really like that name a lot. And I hope I'm saying it right. Jolie. Jolie. I think. And but Nuggets is laughing because I finally have a moderator. But back when I first started and I didn't have a moderator and they was like, you need a mod. And I was like, what is a mod? What are y'all talking about? And they said it's somebody who can take out people who say bad things on your chat. They can remove them from it. And so I do have a mod now. And
I'm about to get thrown out.
No, I'm not saying that you're about to get that time. That's not what I meant at all.
It wouldn't be the first time. It's okay. I know how to grab my little purse and go now.
Look, they saying they remember when I didn't know what a mod was. I bet they really was laughing. Big O LOL. And the Big Italian says Shell sounds like she's from South Central Louisiana. That's a pretty darn good guess.
That's a good guess. Yes. Yes.
Back when, you mean 2 months ago? Yeah, that's right. About 2 months ago, when I didn't have a mod. I figured it out. I looked it all up and I got me a mod. And my mod is my sister. That's Donna Laborde that y'all see there. That's my sister. And she is the mod. She's got that blue wrench by her name. So if you don't know what a mod is and you ever go into a chat like this and you see somebody with that blue wrench, that's the person that can take you out.
Handling your monkey shines with that monkey wrench, child. You better back.
And Puddin' Tang gives us a comment on her name. She says, I'm old and I was named after my dad's girlfriend. But my mama didn't know until later. What?
I got family. I know people with that same situation, which is wild. Back in the day, I was just real wild, you guys.
I think this is probably a more common thing than we may realize. People doing that. Funny.
I'm like, Mama, who I'm named after? Where you at, Mama? Excuse me, ma'am.
Funny how the meaning of things have changed over time. But Nugget says, he says, I call Deborah Puddin' Pop all the time.
I have a cousin that calls me Puddin' Tang.
Really? Who?
And Chuckles. He calls me Chuckles too when I'm getting too gremlin-y.
He tries to calm you down.
Oh yeah, he could give me a look and I'll be time to act right.
Rein it in. And then the Big Italian also says that he's from Elton, grew up in Lafayette. And But Nugget says, since the Bill Cosby stuff, I'm not so comfortable calling her Puddin' Pop. LOL. I hear you.
Okay.
And Donna Laborde says, yes, that's right. Tighten you up, Shell.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I know she's talking to you. It doesn't say Shell on there, but I know. And But Nugget. Yeah. Look at those dimples. Okay. But Nugget says, JT follows JC is an interesting channel. Okay. Well, I'll have to check it out.
JT follows JC?
Yeah.
Are you talking? I'm confused.
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
No. But Nuggets is telling us about an interesting channel, and the name of that channel is JT follows JC. So I'm assuming the JC means Jesus Christ, and the JT must be like the owner of that channel.
Well, that's why I was asking, because my son-in-law sings Christian music and he goes by JT. So that's why I was wondering if he's talking about my son-in-law. I'm having to Google it right now. Like, what are you talking about?
It's a good meeting you too, Big Italian, and I do hope you come back and see us sometime soon. Look, Donna says, Michelle, no, I didn't put that. You're doing fine. She clarified that for us. JT follows JC is Jesus. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sis. Okay, now I know some people can't all bloom where they are. Some people may be in bad situations, so I do take that into consideration, y'all. Definitely not saying for you to stay in a bad situation and try to bloom in that. Okay, everybody, y'all want to do a little trivia? I know it's kind of like getting toward, I like the brick background, says Puddin' Tang. Thank you. You'll have to arrow up on that one, Donna. But Puddin' Tang's in Florida. And Butt Nugget says the bricks hide the gumbo. I lost Michelle. I don't know where she went. She just all of a sudden disappeared off the screen. She must have touched something on her phone is all I can figure. Yeah. We lived in Jackson, Panhandle of Florida for a long time, Butt Nugget says. All right, I have a few of these cards that I've chosen. These are the Press Your Luck ones. Puddin' Tang says that's where she's at. Jackson, the Panhandle of Florida. Well, the Panhandle of Florida. I don't know if it's Jax as well. Okay, here's our first question. In ancient Egypt, which animals were worshipped as gods? Was it buffalo, cats, or snakes? Donna says a good chicken gumbo and a cornbread would hit the spot. I'm hungry. Yeah, Puddin' Tang says it's a cat. Cats were worshipped as gods in ancient Egypt. That is correct. But Nugget's got it as well. What is the largest internal organ in the human body? The brain, the heart, or the liver? Largest internal organ in the human body, brain, heart, liver. Liver. Now this is a big number, guys. Approximately how many people were on board the night the Titanic sank? Was it 2,200, 1,800, or 2,500? How many people were on board the night the Titanic sank? 2,200, 1,800, or 2,500? Butt Nuggets wants to know, am I on a live chat or a top chat? I guess this is something I'll have to study because I'm not sure. A live chat or a top chat? I don't know. I have to make a note on that one because, and I don't see an ink pen right here. Doggone it. I'll have to come back and just look at the notes on here whenever I do it. 2,200. How many kinds of fruit does the book of Revelation say are growing on the tree of life? I switched on y'all to some Bible cards. How many kinds of fruit does the book of Revelation say are growing on the tree of life? You can change the sort order of the chat. Default is top chat, is not real time. Don't know why they did it that way. 12. 12 is correct. That's right. Let's be kind of like the 12 tribes of Israel. What Bible begin with the letter Z? The letter Z. Huh. What books in the Bible begin with the letter Z? There's 2 of them. Zechariah is 1. And the other one is Zephaniah. I might have got Zechariah, but I don't think I would have got Zephaniah. What is the answer to Samson's riddle? Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. Yeah, close enough, but nuggets. What is the answer to Samson's riddle? Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. What was he referring to? And what was it out of? Honey from a lion. He had stopped one day when he was walking and he noticed there was bees and honey. There's a honeycomb inside of a carcass of a lion, and he got the honey out of it. Thus, it was out of the eater. The eater was the lion, something to eat. And out of the strong, the lion, something sweet, the honey. So that was the riddle, and that was the answer to it. Okay, but Nugget says the desolation of abomination was when the second table was destroyed. And Pudding Tang says, no, I hear it, I remember. And Butt Nugget says temple. Donna Laborde says, I like the sweet. You like honey? Now, not no. Okay. What do we call the first 5 books of the Old Testament? The first 5 books of the Old Testament. I don't think they want you to like name them. There's like a title given to all of them together. The Torah is what they're looking for. I gave y'all the answer. I didn't mean to. The Torah, the I'm not going to be able to pronounce that one, or the law. I used to know all the books, but not titles, says Butt Nuggets. And Donna says, yes, very healthy for you. And Pudding got it, the Pentateuch, close enough. And the New Testament, many books or letters written to people or churches. What is another name for these letters? I'll give y'all a clue. It starts with an E. New Testament, many books or letters written to people or churches. What is another name for these letters? And it starts with an E. Epistles, correct. That is right. I'll give y'all, I needed the hint. Yeah, a little hint can go a long way. I'm going to give y'all one more question and then I'm going to close out. What does the Bible call the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit? I'll give y'all another hint. It's called the something of God. The blank of God is what it's called. The belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit. The blank of God is the answer. Armor. You got it. Got it, Pudding. Got it, Jolie. All right, guys. I'm glad you all came in. I sure enjoyed the visit, a whole bunch, and I'm looking forward to our next one. We'll come up with something for us to talk about on the next one. Y'all just remember, you are all awesome, and don't forget it. Good night, y'all. We'll be praying for y'all.